Friday morning, so it's time for this week's installment of the 52-week challenge. Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Joe Catchpolia sitting on the couch, making some money investing in fractional real estate online. This is when I get into telling you what I bought this week across all the fractional real estate platforms that I'm currently invested on. You can see I am back on ground floor. I never took all my money off, but I had taken some. I hadn't bought anything on here in almost a month. They really aggravated me with, artificially paying off a whole bunch of the loans that I had on here, took away about 50% of my diversification, and had like no great explanation for doing so. Especially where it was really detrimental to my strategy on the platform. But anyway, I hadn't really bought very many new LROs in a while. They've just been coming and going super quick. I set up my automatic investing again, so just to buy a little piece of whatever one showed up. And I did pick up two today. There were more that came onto the platform, but they've been selling out quick. So anyway, just picked up two notes on there. Just put a little bit of money in each one. What I think I'm going to do is just sort of keep up with this $50 per LRO and try to build some wide diversification again. I mean, you can see at the moment now I have 63 loans. I had like 120, maybe 125, somewhere around there. I've had a whole bunch close out now, right? 139 altogether. I don't know why I'm trying to do that math. I know it like says it somewhere, right? I don't have to add those two together. Oh, on the summary tab. Maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, that's all I'm doing on here. Just still trying to practice the wide diversification. Although with stuff selling out so quickly, I'm a little bit worried that I'm getting, that auto investor is just grabbing the ones that other people didn't buy up. So I might adjust that strategy. But I also think, at least at the pace that they've been putting new ones on and the chance of buying pieces of each one, I'm probably just going to slowly liquidate this account. I don't know. It's tough to trust it for what I wanted to use it for. I thought I'd be able to put a lot of money on, um, but I really think it's not one that I'm not going to be happy putting bigger chunks of money into a small number of loans, right? And I really don't want to use their flywheel portfolio for a bunch of reasons that I've described in the past. So anyway, bought two LROs on there. That should be all for this segment of the 52-week challenge. I also bought three properties on Lofty, um, all of which are ones that I've been investing in for a while. I'm just accumulating more tokens, all of which this one and is just a little home in Memphis, Tennessee. It's one, I dug into this quite a bit. It was one of the first ones I bought pieces of. I remembered there being some issues with it. Honestly, I think somewhere along the way I kind of forgot some of the due diligence that I did, and I'm hoping I haven't paid too much for these tokens. I think I'm still going to get away um, pretty well with it because my average buy price is somewhere around the current token price. I should probably buy more, but all of these platforms, I just put a certain amount of money on to experiment with. Um, I haven't put any new money on Lofty in quite a while, so I'm only buying tokens with rent that's accumulating and other tokens that I'm selling out of as like I've actually had quite a few tokens prices go up considerably this week, and so sold out of a decent amount and redeploying it in ones. And I'm going to, and I've mentioned this before, I'm just more aggressively going to accumulate tokens in ones that I think that we should sell and get off the platform. One, I think that just trying to see if I can accumulate larger stakes. You've seen me do this discounted token strategy quite a bit, where I pick up tokens, we sell the property in real life, and make money on the spread. But I haven't had a very big exit from one of those. I think the most that I've sold out for was like a $2,000 or $2,500 stake. One of the big problems on Lofty is as you start to accumulate tokens, you force the token price up to a little bit too much, right? More than I want to. I think it's a flaw in the way that their pricing works. I don't think that they should move so strongly, but that's just how it is. Um, but so this is one, I think it's a terrible property overall. And so just buying it up to sell it in real life, I did a video earlier this week about the floor plan of it. They say it's a 4 bedroom, 2 bath, but two of the bedrooms are what they call walk through bedrooms, right? It's not like you have to walk through there to get to somebody else's bedroom or some other room, and so it doesn't make a ton of sense for most people as a four-bedroom home. Anyway, hoping we get this one sold. I am going to just keep accumulating tokens around this price point and see what happens. Um, this is another one you've seen me buy quite a bit of. I'm actually going to try to get up to. This is the first one I started to try to get like a decent percentage of. I think I'm somewhere around 6.5%. I'm going to try to see if I can max this one out at the 15 before I sell it, or before we sell it in real life. We'll see what happens. We had a transition in management. It's one that I think could do perfectly fine. Not perfectly fine, but I think it could do all right. And at the price point that I'm in it on, I think it could do, great as a, cash on cash return type of property. Um, but I think anybody, anything closer to the real world sale value of the property, and it's just not a great, won't be a great yield. So anyway, another one that I think I'm just buying up, hoping that we eventually sell this one in real life because it is, the token price is really, really far off from what the real world value should be. Although this one does have some debt, and so that makes it a little bit closer, but not so much that it's the case. So again, at this token price, I'm going to just keep accumulating. I keep buying it. It pops up, it moves down a little bit. I get a little bit more, and so just slowly working on that, trying not to force the price up too high. If you remember, I kind of did that on Odom. I screwed up a little bit, and I think I personally held that property value up too high for a little while until I backed off a little bit, let it drop, and then picked up more for cheaper. So it's a delicate balance, right? Trying to get enough of these that it's worth it, to worth the time to make the sale and actually get a decent amount of money. But on the flip side, um, not by so much that I'm just pushing that price through the roof. So I don't know. Anyway, that's another one. About halfway to how much of this I want to own. Hopefully, I can keep doing it without that price exploding too much, but we'll see. Um, this three property portfolio in Ohio. I think we already approved now a vote to sell one of these. Um, and so the other two, there's a vote out now that says, hey, let's just sell them all. Even if we just sell one, it's a big chunk of cash back, per token, depending on what it sells for. I think the person that put out the original proposal might have overestimated what this property might sell for, but regardless, if I think any amount of cash back based on the current token price is going to be a great deal. And then maybe once we do the first one, we see how that goes. Maybe we put the other two up later. And if not, I think there's also just a chance that the token price will be such that I can sell out at a decent profit after getting that cash. Um, that's everything on Lofty. I bought one property on Mogul this week. The Ven. This is the 6 bedroom, 3 bathroom pad split style property in Little Burn, Georgia. Uh, you know, if you've been watching my channel for a while, Mogul's really become my favorite platform for anything that resembles like an actual real estate investment. If I'm looking for a long-term hold, a property in a market that I like, executing a business plan that I think makes sense, having just normal debt and leverage, this is the platform that makes the most sense for me. I bought a piece of this one this week. I did a video earlier this week of maybe even just last night of the another one that they put out, but it's not even up on their property page yet. It's in their sort of VIP launch. If you didn't see that, feel free to check out yesterday's video. But also, I can send you a link to that property if you want to check it out early. It is a larger property. It's a short-term rental in Dallas, and so I think it'll take a little while for that one to sell out. I didn't buy a piece of that one yet. I have a couple of outstanding questions that I'm probably going to wait and ask during the webinar. Um, and yeah, I did put them in that video, so if anybody watched it, they can feel free to jump in and answer as well. But that's one I think that I'll buy a piece of too, but it'll be in next week's, what I bought this week if I do, or maybe even later. I think it doesn't hurt for some of the ones that are going to take a little bit to close. I think I'll probably start waiting longer and longer. I do just get excited and jump right in and buy them when I like them a lot because some of them have sold out pretty quick, and I don't want to miss that. Um, In any case, I think that is really everything. Please tickle the like button. Please do your own due diligence on all of these properties. Don't buy any of them just because I did. And I have links to all these sites where I invest in the description to this video. Again, please do your own due diligence on the platforms. Don't buy into any of them just because I am. Some of them, there's a lot to figure out. Lofty especially is just full of like traps and tricks and things that don't work the way you think that they should. Um, so but all of them, even this one, even though Mogul's my favorite, doesn't mean it's the right one for you. Do your own due diligence. Figure out, do these properties make sense? Does their business plan make sense? Do I mind if my money's held, locked up for a long period of time? All those sorts of things, you have to figure out for yourself. Um, all right, now that's really it. If you, oh yeah, please jump into the comments or into the Discord and let me know what you bought this week. This part of this. That's part of why we're doing this, right? If you don't know, check out the playlist for the 52-week challenge. Watch the first video, and I explain the whole goal. Probably should have said it at the beginning. At some point, I'll become a good YouTuber if I keep working at it, but not quite there yet. And I don't think I've said it in a while, so I am sorry that I'm not better looking. I'll work on that too. Until next time, I'm going to keep making mistakes so that you don't have to.